Hello and welcome. Good morning to broadsthockey here. I am Ryan Gilbert. Joining me here right now is Thomas Williams. Might have a few other people joining us here as well, but
Okay,
I just woke up 20 minutes ago, saw the alert on my phone. Flyers fired John Tortorella, and I'll be the first to admit a little bit surprised. But Thomas, man on the street style, how we doing?
I know. Yeah, live from the streets. Yeah. Honestly, I was surprised too. I was shocked because I think it was Anthony DeMarco that first put it out that like the Flyers, John Tortorella is out of Philly. Then Friedman said something like Tortorella stepped down, and then immediately after, as it always is with these insiders, the team puts it out like a second later. All the quotes and everything that the team is now saying is that sorry, there's a truck going by. Everything that this is terrible. Instant analysis you're getting from BSH.
Instant reaction, not analysis. We thought instant reactions.
Instant reaction.
Just
analysis is later.
Yeah.
Like everything now, the Flyers are saying it's obvious now with everything that's come out is that he's no longer a part of the Flyers organization, which really, really surprised me. Like, what was your feeling of not even him stepping down, not even him moving on up to be an advisor role? But what was your now you're feeling that it's just straight up like Tortorella is no longer part of the Flyers?
It's great. I mean, we had that stream last week, 2 weeks ago, and I was like, you know what, I brought logic to the stream with you, Steve, and Jacob, and then I mean, over these past few weeks, I mean, the comments on Tuesday night that maybe he let that slip too early, but that the Cam York situation, this Couturier situation last year, you wonder if it was just that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But yeah, I was wondering in the back of my mind, like if Tortorella being a part of Briere and Jones was kind of forced upon them, and now I wonder if that'll come out. I don't know if that's anything they would say, but yeah, John Tortorella, sure, decent time here, I guess. I'm not sure how he'll be remembered. That's something we'll definitely have to get into later. But yeah, it is kind of surprising that it was always the big three, the triumvirate. Everyone loved saying there with those three, but yeah, now he's gone, and now Shaw's here. I guess we'll see what the available options are. But yeah, Torch is out.
Yeah, it's well, obviously the search is going to start, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, it's definitely weird to just have him fully gone. Like everyone was expecting, all the reporters, even we're saying, possibly moving on upstairs. There's a whole notion of him wanting to. I think it was earlier, maybe it was even just yesterday or 2 days ago, where someone said after all this, obviously the quotes after the Leafs loss, that said basically even when he was with Columbus, he wanted to move into the front office, and Jarmo was the GM at the time. It was no, I'm the GM. What are you gonna do? You want to be my assistant? No, I already got guys for that. So it's a weird. It's obviously what he wanted, but it's clearly the Flyers stepping in and being we've seen enough of. Honestly, probably a little bit nicer put, but you're bullshit. Your players might have come and complained. I could see. I'm not reporting anything, obviously, because I'm not even near the team or anything. But I could see Travis Konecny just being I'm having a fucking shit 2025. Please just I guess after the Four Nations, but please just, man, I need to do something. I need hope going into next season. Even if it's 8 games of no torts and seeing how it feels, that does it probably a lot of the veteran players better. Also, probably some of the rookies too, like Michkov. The taste of no torts on the bench can get them probably more excited for next season than it would be announcing this in right after the season's done or something like that. If they announced it in April 18th, the day after the season ends, they said, okay, Flyers fired Tortorella. Well, the players would be okay, I guess, I just experienced fucking a shit month for no reason. If you're gonna do this all the time, so yeah, so it'd be a little bit upset. So doing it now, it makes sense to not just get their season back on track, because who knows if the team's even good enough to win a couple games, but to get them feeling better and potentially just looking forward to the training camp like next season. Like honestly, like just get a taste of like maybe they want to replace him Brad Shaw. But I'm rambling. But yeah, like what is kind of what do you think like the players probably had a little bit of say? Like obviously just a frustration.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that's a great point you brought up that I hadn't even thought about. Like, yeah, Konechny's probably sick of it. Like, Sanheim's probably sick of it. The Fire defenseman that had to play more at the end of a road trip because he wanted to bench Cam York was probably sick of it. Cam York's sick of it. Sean Couturier is sick of it. Michkov is sick of it. Like, I'm trying to think of one player that would maybe stand up and be like, defend him, or like, even if it was like private talks with every player, like, who would be like, all right, yeah, I want him to stay. Because like, no one could possibly want him to say, because they you can see their faces on the bench. They're miserable. Like that, come calling a timeout, getting yelled at and shit. Like they, like you said, I think they were just sick of it. Like they were sick of the torts experiment. You know, Briere and Jones gave it a few years. They gave it a shot. He was kind of because Tortorella was brought in 4-year contract by Chuck Fletcher, and Chuck Fletcher was fired less than a year later. And you know, Briere and Jones were like, all right, let's ride this out and see how this goes. And it went well. It worked last year. And then this year, it's just, if you're not interested in coaching a rebuilding team, okay, see you, bud. That's kind of what it seems like. And even if he didn't mean that quote exactly, even if he was trying to deflect, like you don't say that. And especially after benching Cam York, after benching Michkov, after like I said, there's not a player that I don't think would be on his side, even a veteran. Like, yeah, like I'm sure they're all going to say the right things. They'll be like, yeah, it was great having him here. Learn from him a lot. You know, we'll see. We'll move on. But like, yeah, there's not really much to argue here that he should be here, except the fact that he already was here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like it's. I think the team clearly wants to be better next season. It's funny. So I sat down, basically like sat down with my breakfast at like 8:30, whatever. I was like, okay, before work, I'm just gonna do this little quick thing, search around for like any Flyers news. Obviously, the Tortorella thing is hot, so I'm gonna look for Tortorella. Gail LeBrun was on TSN this morning, like literally probably at like 6 a.m., 3 hours before this news fucking broke. That he was like, I think he was asked about like, what's the future of Tortorella in Philly, and then he was just like, oh, like, yeah, like it's. He was reading it like Merrick was and like Charlie was, kind of just like, oh, he's a little like, he's more so just taking the blame for the bad loss. He's just deflecting and all this stuff. And then like, oh, like the Flyers want to be good next year. They're probably going to add some pieces in the summer if they draft them or if they sign them or trade for them, whatever. They have a bunch of draft picks, so yada yada yada. Everything that we've been talking about the Flyers summer forever. So then he goes on to say like, oh, well, they're better. They want to be better. So then I was thinking like, if they want to be better, then I could see Tortorella himself wanting to stay involved next season. Like, oh, I'll finish out my contract. Like, I don't care about signing an extension. I want to have a year where the team has pivoted to trying a little bit more. Michkov's sophomore season, Noah Cates more established, Travis Konechny kind of in his contract. All this stuff that like next season is a big season. So I could have seen Tortorella wanting to be again involved behind the bench for that first year and like for a year where like Michkov could play a huge role. I could see him wanting his hands on that and having like I was the person not just here for the rebuild but here for the start of the transition, the Caps in like 07 kind of era, you know, like that turn where it's all these rookies coming in, and especially even though like it's so small, obviously with this huge news, but like the Luchenko of it all, like he fucking loved Jet, so he's like, I want to coach him for 82 games, like selfishly. So I could have seen that happen. So then it's like I kind of literally 2 hours before this news broke, I was like coming to the conclusion. I was like, okay, Tortorella's gonna stay. Like it's just gonna happen. It's gonna like it's just a reality. That I have to deal with and we all have to deal with for another season. But yeah, then the Flyers announced it. So LeBron, you're a fucking fraud. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm sure everyone didn't want to be like, oh yeah, Torch is done, and then it'd be like a massive like get radioed out the fucking ass. Like, so yeah, that's funny.
But once again, another just like move out of nowhere from this front office. I mean, you said it was reported like 2 minutes before it was like Friedman got to it, and then it was official. So I mean, like even after those quotes on Tuesday night, there wasn't anything let out. So another kind of feather in their cap for being silent there. And yeah, I wrote that thing last night. I'm not sure if it got published and pulled down this morning, but like
no, it didn't. Sorry.
no, that's perfect. I was gonna say pull it down next. I look like a fucking idiot saying like have the Flyers quit on John Tortorella or they're just a bad hockey team. And like I argued, it's more the lack.
Answer now. So.
Yeah, we have the answer now. We have the answer now. So there's no need to write that, but to read that. But I wrote in that like yeah, I mean this summer is going to be big because if Tortorella's sticking around, that means the Flyers have to make some sort of big move. He's not sticking around for another year of this rebuild. Like he's just not. And another thing that is interesting is, why did they bring up Kolosov now? Like the thought was that Tortorella was like, all right, I'm done with Fedotov, give me Kolosov. But maybe Tuesday night's comments did truly change everything, and the Flyers do regret that. But like, I would love to see Tortorella out, bring up Grabenkin for a few games, bring up Jet for a few games, bring up somebody. But I get them wanting to keep the Phantoms stuff going into the playoffs, but yeah, I mean the Tortorella era is definitely going to be something we look back on, and yeah, I could see him, like you said, wanting to have his hands on, be like, oh, I helped mold Jet-Luchenko, I helped mold Matvei Michkov, and keep that going. But going back to what you said about him asking out in Columbus, yeah, I mentioned it I think on the podcast. I didn't realize that after the bubble, he went to the front office. He was like, I'm reading the room. I'm probably done here. I have nothing more to do here. And Nick Foligno like begged him to stay, according to a porch line from Columbus there. So yeah, it seems like he's kind of been out of it for a bit. The Flyers did get him back rejuvenated last year. But yeah, I mean he was the oldest coach in the NHL. So I mean, I just wonder. I just wonder who's next. But I mean that's later for later today. We'll have more stuff coming. But reacting to this, like I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked it happened now.
Yeah, like I get we could touch on the future stuff quickly because I kind of want to, like, again, we'll say subscribe if you're watching this right now.
Yeah, we haven't even plugged ourselves yet.
We haven't plugged, so subscribe to YouTube. I'm on the street. Yeah. Like, okay, that makes it sound bad, but I'm on the street doing this content for.
I'm on the street. Subscribe so I can get a house.
Like Spike for walking on a busy street. Subscribe right now. On our way to 1K. Hopefully by the end of the season we hit that. But yeah, just get our numbers and all that stuff up. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something that yeah, we can touch on the future stuff now. Like what are you, not necessarily the coaching candidates, but what are you looking for the rest, like, of 8 games of the season coaching wise? Like, do you suspect stuff will change, tactics will change with Brad Shaw in charge?
I mean, I don't know how much they can change. Like they don't have really many personnel changes they can make. I mean, maybe
Michkov could play more.
Michkov, I mean, they already have Michkov connecting Couturier together. That'll stay together. Like, maybe we'll see a few different defensive pairs. I thought we may already see that after the York benching. So maybe we see like a Sanheim Drysdale again, or like a Sanheim Andre, something fun like that, just to change things up. But I mean, overall, I expect to see kind of a refreshed team. Like tonight might be not great because it's the first home game back after a long road trip. But I mean, then they play Buffalo and Nashville, the two teams right around them in the standings. I was going to write like those are the two games that determine what this team is. Like if this team can't beat Buffalo and or Nashville, it's bad. So I feel like fans are going to hate it because it hurts the tank, but maybe they won't because this is showing that the players may have hated Tortorella, and I cannot blame them.
So there's a giant truck going by, so I didn't want to unmute. But yeah, like there's I could totally see someone like a Konechny or Michkov or even like Couturier or whatever, just explode for the rest of the season. Like if Tippett ends the season, like six goals in 8 games, like how, like that's probably feeling pretty good. Like who, like again, we're kind of projecting or predicting things, but like if there was one player you could see the burden of Tortorella, the little Italian man, is off his shoulders. What could you, like, what is gonna who's just going to explode offensively, play better defense, whatever. With Sean fully in charge. Like what's one player you can see totally change like from where they are right now?
I mean, Tippett's definitely a good answer. He's got to get to 20 goals. He's stuck at 19. Like I could see Forster. I know Torch was a huge fan of him and put him in good spots, but like he's only had John Tortorella as coach. He's only had that as his, right? Yeah, he never. Yeah, he's only had John Tortorella as coach. Like he's never had a more calming presence on the bench. So maybe maybe he could even break out, because I've heard people saying they're kind of disappointed with him this season. I guess 32 points in 72 games. He had 33 last year. Maybe he's focusing too much on defense, focusing too much on that two-way game with the Cates line getting all those bad matchups. So I could see Forster. I could see Tippett. Like maybe, like you never know. Like I think goes off and finally puts up some points.
Yeah, I mean that'd be good. Like it would be interesting to see if, man, like the special teams change. Like obviously Rocky's the power play coach, so like, and he, like J Mac wrote a great blog, I think it was last week, on how like Torch and Rocky are pretty much connected. Tortorella doesn't really fire assistants ever. So like basically he kind of like set the stage of, well, obviously not set the stage for Tortorella getting fired, but like of like doing this connection between Rocky and Tortorella. So now like Rocky's probably gone this summer, which is a good thing. But like it would be interesting to see if that power play changed a little bit. Like how much say did Tortorella have overall? Like I wonder if Rocky might have been fighting a little bit for some other things. Like it always happens in some sports. Like I remember. Sorry, this is like totally bad for Philly, but I remember when Nick Nurse took over the bench for the Raptors from Dwayne Casey. He was the assistant, and like immediately, all these changes that we kind of saw glimpses of for the Raptors, we would it would be like instantly just the whole time, like the way that Nurse coached defense and all this stuff of like, yeah, box and one, whatever, like all these tactics that we would catch a glimpse of and be like, oh, that might be Nurse having an influence. Suddenly it's just like all the time, and obviously it led to heartbreak for the Sixers. But yeah, so yeah, what I'm trying to say is I wonder if we see glimpses of something like with Shaw completely in charge, maybe Rocky even changes like a little bit, because that would be something interesting to see. Like there's questions that are now coming up in my head of just like, it won't be tonight maybe, but it'll be something soon that we could see little changes on the ice where we don't want to just point a finger and be like, that wouldn't have happened under Torts, or that is a coach now having Torts not hanging over their head or whatever. But it's going to be interesting to see what exactly we see in the last 8 games with players and as individual, but the team overall, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the 5-forward power play on Tuesday, kind of mimicking Toronto's 5-man power play. So I wonder if that was something Tortorella was just like, no, whatever, just go with it. So maybe we see that again. Maybe we see I don't know, Sanheim or York on the power play. Maybe I would love to see this team just go balls to the wall offense when they can. Like just like you've played defensively for all year long, all yeah, under Tortorella. You're playing. We have awful goaltending. Let's just go all out for offense. Let's see if we can outscore our problems, and let's have some fun. Like because they're not playing many good teams. Canadians are the hardest team to have remaining on their schedule. They play both the New York team once, Columbus, Buffalo twice, and Nashville. Like there's 8 games. The Flyers could win at least 4 of them. Like this team has the skill to win at least 4 of them. Like so, I just want to see goals. I want to see goals. I want to have fun. I bought tickets for tonight's game yesterday, so I will be there at the Farg. So I would like to see a few goals. See this team have fun, because yeah, they know the season's over. It sucks, but now they do finally have something to look forward to. They don't have Tortorella's rope hanging over their head for next training camp. But yeah, like you said, like I don't know if Bradshaw is going to be the guy. I don't know if they David Carl, they have some sort of deal with him. I don't know if they hope Mike Sullivan gets fired. Like I feel like there's not many great options, which is the big thing. Which like, okay, fire Torts, but who do you bring in? And we'll see who it is, and we'll definitely react to that.
That's another video. That's
Another
coaching
video. Yeah,
candidates for
that's
replacements.
yeah. We want to just do a quick reaction here while Thomas is
Yeah.
walking, and yeah, we'll be going live later today. So make sure you do subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified when we do go live. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like I haven't fully wrapped that. I haven't read all the quotes and whatnot, so I'm excited to get into that and try to read between the lines a little bit because yeah, I mean this is interesting timing. It's like, all right, I guess the quotes Tuesday and the York thing were kind of the last straw for him, but yeah, I mean there was no other point this season where it would have made sense to fire Torch, right?
Yeah, no, I think they weren't going to turn the season around. So now, kind of with this last stretch against bad teams, so they can maybe try some things. It's going to be interesting. I gotta go, so
Yeah, I mean
I'll leave you to wrap it up. But yeah, this is crazy. Stay tuned for Broad Street Hockey on the website, on the YouTube, Twitter, podcast, Blue Sky, all that stuff. So see ya.
yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
See you, Thomas. Yeah, that's what we were really planning to do here. Just a quick instant reaction thing. There were plans to go live at 11 with more people to do a more kind of in-depth thing looking at it. So we will do that. I won't tap dance ramble here too much. If you guys have any pertinent questions in the chat or want to do some super chats to get them on screen here, I will definitely stick around a few minutes for that. But I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, that's just my. I can't say I'm not surprised. I'm surprised by this. I've been standing that this is the logical choice. Just play it out. Next year is rebuilding as well. Next year doesn't matter. There's no point of bringing in a coach to potentially be a lame duck coach next year when the following offseason is the important one. But Tortorella definitely played out his time here. The leash was getting short, or the leash was getting long, and Tortorella was just running with it, and then he got caught back and kind of just all the way back now. And big move by Danny Briere. I think that was something we should have brought up with Thomas. Big move by Danny Briere to make that decision, come out and say, okay, you're not saying you're not interested in coaching this team if this is what you signed up for. When we came on board, we were rebuilding. You knew that. You were happy with it. You were happy with it last year when we were playing meaningful games the whole way. You can't just say you got to do a better job of getting these guys ready because you've been a losing hockey team since mid-January. Let me go back real quick. Look at the record. Yeah, six straight losses. But since the night before, or no, the week of the Flames trade, since January 23rd, they're 6-16-3. Like they haven't been a competitive winning hockey team in over 2 months now. So you can't just say, oh, I have to do a better job. I don't know how to coach a rebuilding team. No, this is a rebuilding team. This is what you've been coaching for 2 years now, 3 years now. So you can't just say you got to do a better job. Like it's just, even if it was deflecting, it was the wrong words, obviously. And yeah, that Cam York scratch was probably the long thing here. So yeah, that's gonna probably do it here for us. Just a quick instant reaction. Like Thomas said, make sure you are subscribed to Broad Street Hockey on YouTube. Probably going live throughout the day. Going live, I think at 11-ish or more lunchtime. Might do a pre or post game thing here. Definitely more stuff over the weekend as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.